Hello, y'all. Surprise, surprise, surprise. I'm here on a Saturday Live. I wanted to come on today just to have a wealth chat because I had posted a question, a poll question. Hey, Terrence. And one of the questions was, what keeps you up at night? And so one of the answers was sleep like a baby. The other one is bills. The other one was I didn't, don't know how I'm going to make it financially. Or, you just on the path of building wealth. Or you want to learn how to invest your money. And so I wanted to come on and give some answers to some of the concerns. And it's wonderful if you're sleeping like a baby and don't have a care in the world because, we're not supposed to, we're not designed to carry stress and worry. You're not supposed to, our body's not built for that. It causes sickness and so, but sometimes we get ourselves in a pickle or life happens that are out of our control. And so tomorrow's the cash flow game. So I wanted to just come on and let's just talk and share some ways to navigate some of the concerns. And so there was one person that said that bills keep them up at night. And so I've been there. I've been there where I'm sleeping like a baby and will wake up out of a dead sleep with a bill on mind, like how I'm going to pay this bill. I can tell you, and even the people that are the best in, keeping budgets and, life happens. You could have an emergency fund and your tires go and then your car break down or your refrigerator go all in the same week. And that kills your emergency fund. So I've been there. I've been there. And then you're just so frustrated. Like I have done everything that I possibly can do to avoid being in this situation. And so I will say this, because again, you'll just have to take a step back and breathe and just create map out a way to conquer that bill. Sometimes you have to call them and say, hey, I'm having a problem. But, you want to come up with a plan before you talk to them. Things happen and you can call your bill collectors and say, hey, I'm having a problem. Can I work out another payment plan? Or can you change my bill date? Sometimes, if your job is not making enough to pay that bill, you can, get a part-time job. You can create assets to cover that bill. Sometimes you have investments that, that you can turn to liquid, but you definitely, want to come up with a plan to pay that off so that it's not a heavy weight on your shoulders wondering how am I going to pay this bill. The other thing I want to say is that you have to get creative on creating money. And what do I mean by that? Just think about if you're a parent, your children come home. I mean, they used to come home like every month with a fundraiser. And there's parents that will get in there and help their child raise, be the number one fundraiser. You could do that for yourself. You can do that for yourself. You can go to a store that sells in bulk, get a box of candy bars and sell them and make a profit. You can hustle. You could deliver paper. You can knock on your neighbor's door and say, hey, can I cut your grass? And this is my fee. Can I clean your windows? Can I meal prep for you? There's all kinds of ways to raise the money to pay a bill that may be stressing. Like for me, the next thing on my agenda is that I need to gut out my bathroom and I need a brand new bathroom. And so this has been something that's been hanging over my head and my bathroom is just getting worse and worse. And And sometimes we'll cover our heads, put our head in the sand to avoid dealing with something that may be minor. We don't know because we don't take the time to say, okay, how much is this going to cost me? Have someone come out to give you an estimate. And so I could tell you, I've had that money over and over again because I'm a believer that God gives you exactly what you need. Like if you have a bill and you set your expectation like, okay, God, I can't fix it, but it is possible with you. And so you just have to be aware of when he gives you the money for the bill, because a lot of times when we get I'll speak for myself. When I get a lump sum, I'm so quick to, all of a sudden I have a list of wants and quickly forget about my needs. So what I have to do sometimes is just take a deep breath, take a step back and say, wait a minute, I already have a list created and I need to deal with that list first. And so whenever I get a lump sum, I'm quick to pay off all my bills, but I'm learning in the cash flow game, which I don't keep a lot of bills other than lights, gas, to maintain the house. I do have a charge card. I have about, say, $1,500 balance on there, and which is very easy to pay. But sometimes we create in our mind that is so huge that you can't deal with it. But in the cash flow game, you learn how to go out and find assets to pay off those bills first. And so I want to talk about that because a lot of people don't know how to get started, and you think you need a lot of money to get started. But again, if you have $0, you can still invest. But again, you may have to be creative. Like I said, you might need to knock on a few friends' door. You may be excellent at doing taxes. You may be excellent at baking cakes or fixing cars, mowing lawns, something that is not going to require you to go out to make an investment to get this thing going. Whatever you have in your house, you look around, hey, you could have a tag sale. You could do it right online. You could do a virtual tag sale. You may have, like a friend of mine just gave me a ton of clothes. You may have just stuff piling up in your house that has some value to it. Or you may be great at cleaning houses or, stuff that's not going to require you to make an initial investment. And you could definitely call 10 of your friends, 20 of your friends, 30 of your friends like, hey, I need to, I think your friends and family would respect it more so versus you call and say, hey, can I borrow money? But to say, hey, do you need anything around your house fixed that I can work for money? Of course. I have a garage that needs cleaning out. I need to get rid of some clothes in the back. I need somebody to come get my spider webs. Trust me. You can rent out your car. You could do Uber, or you can rent out your car to someone to do Uber. If you have an extra car, there's tons of things that you could do if you have no money to generate money to start investing. So I pulled out some of the cards from the game. So there's the small deals. And so if you have 0 to say $2,000. Let's just work with that. Here's a house, and all you need is $1,000 down payment. Now, this house doesn't have any cash flow, but the house mortgage is $30,000. The down payment is $1,000. Sometimes you can come across some deals like that. They're not everyday deals, but sometimes you can come across a deal. You put down $1,000, but they said no cash flow, but a possible capital gains. So I could tell you when we play the card game, this house is for $30. There's a card in there and it's called the market card. So someone can pull that and offer you, say, here's one where a buyer is offering you $45,000 for the house. So you can buy the house for $30,000. Here comes a buyer for $45,000, and then you make $15,000. You could take that $15,000 and go buy a valuable a upgraded asset. But there's also a car where a buyer will pay $135,000 and you only pay $30,000 for that house. That's a deal. So again, you want to take the time to learn the different assets that are out there that will generate money. So if you need monthly income, you might want to look at real estate. If you need, or creating a business. And again, you can get cash right away by cutting somebody's lawn. I pay a company to come out to cut my grass. They charge me, I think it's $40 every 2 weeks. When they come out, they charge me $40. So just think, okay, say I need an extra $300. Okay, so $300, well, let's round it off. Let's say $200. That's what? Divided by the $40, that's how many lawns you need to do in order to make the $200. So I saw one of our members post that he was looking at this car and he was like, yeah, I didn't even ask the price because I assumed I couldn't afford it. Like, why not? Why can't you afford it? You know what I'm saying? You're looking at maybe what you bring in on your job, but let's say, okay, fine, my job doesn't pay me enough to afford this car, but you can find an asset. You can buy a rental property. That's a 3-unit right there. You can go buy a 3-unit, move into it or not, or rent it all 3 units out and make the monthly payment that the car would cost. And then let a tenant pay for your new car. You know what I'm saying? So we have to begin to think outside of the box. We got to stop being confined to how much you bring home through your job, and begin to think of outside things. Like you can get vending machines, you can get bubblegum machines and find some businesses like salons and barbershops, places where kids hang out. Hey, can I put a soda vending machine in here? Can I put a snack machine in here? You can make money doing whatever you like. So don't just be limited to what you bring on your job and begging them for a raise. Hey, I'm worth more. You know what? I'm not begging my job anymore, letting them know what my value is. I'm doing that on my own because I know I worked for a AT&T sales company. And I'm telling you, I used to bring in $3-4 million a year. If I did that for somebody else, why can't I do that for myself? Doing the same thing I'm doing for them. So you do have to be creative with finding assets. So, we've been doing this for years. Terrence, get ready because when your little baby go to school, they're going to be saying, okay, we're having a fundraiser. They raise money. So that's what we have to do too for ourselves. Companies do it and you could do it individually. You could raise money for yourself. So I'm going to say